everybody, so we're going to start the teardown of the E93 335i. We're going to start draining the fluids and tearing into this. I really don't think this engine is blown, but I could be wrong. I'm going to put a new fuel injector in. I'm going to change the oil filter housing gasket and put new oil and new fluids in it and see if we can get it to run. So we're going to start by draining the fluids and then start pulling off the oil filter housing gasket. So let's get this up on the jack and get started. So first things first, I'm going to take off the oil filter cap. Just want to see what's inside there before I drain it out. So take a look inside and see what we find. So you can see oil's pretty milky. That's a really bad sign, but I really do think the culprit is probably right in here. So let's drain this out. It doesn't look too terrible, but it's also been sitting for a while, so it's probably separated. But let's drain it out and see what happens. So I'm sure you guys can see all the spider webs from this car sitting. But to drain the oil, you're going to need a 17mm socket, and it's right under this little window right here. So it's just a little plastic tab that you turn and then back out the screw. So that's not what you want your oil to look like. So I'm going to let that drain out completely. In the meantime, I'm going to start disassembling the top so we can drain the coolant and get the oil filter housing off. So first thing you want to do is take off the cabin filter. So there's 2 screws on each side. So they're 8mm bolts, so just take those off real quick. This thing is pretty dirty, might end up needing a new one of these. When I can, I'm just going to end up putting the bolts back in their original spot. That way I don't lose them, because this could end up being pulled apart for quite some time. So once you get that off, you're going to want to take this wire loom. You're going to pop these tabs up front, and it should release. And then now you can remove these wires from this tray. And then this just pulls out from there. And then from there you want to just pry these little tabs down. And then next you're going to want to take off this sensor, just twist 90 degrees and pulls out, and set it to the side. And then you're going to want to pull these covers off. Same thing on this side. There's another sensor here that you just remove, set it to the side, and pull off this cover. So then to get this out, there's just 2 8mm bolts. Once you get that out, there's 2 rubber grommets on each side that you just pull back. This is a great opportunity to clean all this and get all these leaves out. I'm sure all of you guys have the same thing. And then my car came with the engine cover off already, but if yours didn't, it's just 4 bolts front and back, or 2 bolts, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then you can remove that. So next we're going to want to take off these 2 braces here. You're going to stick something in here and turn this. So you'll pop this out, you'll turn it about 45 degrees, and then there's a bolt under there and a bolt on each side. Looks like they might have lost this bolt on this side, so it's a little different. So you'll take the bolts off on each side, and then the main bolt up here, and then you'll slide each one out. And then so next we'll take out the air box. So you're going to pop up these clips on each side, and then there's T20s on the side of this, and this will come off. So that'll allow you to take this piece off. And then the air duct is held on with this, so you want to, there's 2 tabs on each side, you pull that off and pull it out of the guide there. And then there's a clamp on each side of the air box, so you can use a flathead screwdriver to get those out. And then the only thing this is held in with is an actual grommet, so you'll just pull up on it. So just yank up on this once you get each hose out, and it comes out pretty easily. So now you can see we have way better access to everything, especially over here on the injector side. Now that we have all this stuff out, we have way better access to get in there. So we'll be removing all this eventually to replace the injectors. So if you haven't already, now is probably a good time to replace your charge pipe, because we're going to be removing it anyways. But there's a Torx bolt right here that you have to remove, and then this alligator clip just pops out, and you should be able to pull down. And then to get the diverter valves out, there's a twist on it. So you just twist these, and once you twist them, you'll be able to pull them both out of the charge pipe. And lastly, there's a hose clamp back here. So you'll take off this hose clamp, take off this alligator clip, twist these and remove it, and then take off this Torx bolt, and you should be able to take off the charge pipe. Also, I forgot, you're going to want to take off the airflow sensor. So that you can either take off the two bolts, the two torque bolts that hold it on, or you can just unclip the sensor. All right, so now it's going to get messy. So the next thing we're going to want to do is take off this upper radiator hose. So when you do that, some coolant is going to come out. So you're going to want to take off the underbelly tray, which is a bunch of 8mm bolts, and then you're going to want to put a bucket and something, some cardboard or something underneath to catch it all. So I've got some buckets and some cardboard underneath. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a pick and pry these alligator clips out on the hose, just like what you had on the charge pipe. So the clip will slide out like that, and then you just pry this away from the engine block. And when you do that, the coolant's gonna come out. So again, make sure you have a bucket and something underneath to catch it. This car, has a blown motor, so it might not be much coming out. So you want to be careful, but you want to get in there with a flat head and just kind of pry and wiggle at the same time. So yeah, normally this would be full of coolant, but in this case it was not. But normally some coolant would come out, but you just got to work it. They're on there sealed pretty tight, so just pry it out gently so you don't break the plastic. So next you'll want to, next to the oil filter, you'll want to take off this sensor here. And again, it just has one of those alligator clips holding it on, so pop off the alligator clip, and then there's a bolt underneath these oil cooler lines. And again, some oil might come out of this. Obviously we drain the oil, but some residual might come out of this. So once you take that bolt out, make sure you have something underneath to catch the oil. So once you get the bolt off, you'll just press down, and then the oil should drain out from there. So the next step is we want to take the bolts off of this oil filter housing. And so you can use Torx, and I know this is probably the wrong tool for the job, but I'm going to be using a combination wrench, a 5/16 combination wrench, to get inside here. And it's still a tight fit, and so if you don't have the E sockets to take it off, this works really well. So you can just, it's a tight fit, but you can just use this wrench to crack it loose and get it off. And so there's 3 bolts that hold this on, so that's the hardest one to get to. We'll take that off, and then we'll move to the other 2. So once you get that small bolt down there, there's another one right here, and then the third one is under the intake manifold. So we're going to be removing that. First, what you want to do is clear out all these wires to give yourself some more room. So you'll remove these from all the wire loom clips, just to get them out of the way, and then we can remove the intake manifold. So next you'll want to undo this sensor here, so it just slides out once you lift this little clip up, and then there's a vacuum line underneath the intake manifold, so you'll want to pry that out under here. It could be tough, so you might want to get a pick tool, or you could just cut it. This is probably something that you want to replace if it hasn't been replaced recently. And then next we'll want to take off these O2 sensor plugs. So pull these off, you just squeeze them and pull back and set those aside. So you can remove these vacuum lines here if you want, but there's a bolt behind it, and then you got to get these nuts off. So they're staggered up and down along the front, and then there's gaskets underneath these. So if you're going to be taking this off, you're going to want to put new gaskets. So if you buy a kit for this, usually it comes with those gaskets and the bolts. So yeah, we'll start taking those nuts off. All right, once you get the 7 bolts off of the intake manifold, there's going to be a squeeze pipe that you want to pull off of the throttle body. You could take the throttle body off of these bolts. I'm not doing that. And then there's a connector, electronic connector, that you also just press down and pull off on the bottom of the throttle body. And then once you get the bolts out, it should just pop off. You don't have to do this to do the oil filter housing. I'm going to do it because it's just easier, and I already have the gaskets for that. So once you do that, you pull it out, and it's much easier to get out or get around when it's out. All right, so we got the intake manifold out, so you can clearly see this bolt up here now. You can clearly see this bolt up here now, so you're going to take that bolt out, back this one all the way out, and get that one underneath all the way out, and then we should be able to remove it now. So here's what it'll look like when you get the oil filter housing off. So it's clear the filter gasket on this was failing. You could see the oil dripping down on this side and on the other side. So this could be the reason why our engine is blown. So stay tuned. I mean, if this is all you were here for, you're good to go. You can reassemble from here, but stay tuned if you want to see the rest of the rebuild. I'm just really trying to show you love.